This is our patio heater. It is not new. I mean, we've had it for probably 5 years. I think it's a Highland brand, which Ace Hardware was selling for a while, so they're pretty common. I think we got it at a grocery store. This model was not expensive. You can find them on sale for $100 or so. Anyway, we're gonna take this apart right here. These are just Phillips head screws right around here, and get this screen off. So in our case, I thought that it was a common problem that I've had before with the pilot light tube getting clogged, and it'll get soot and spider webs or whatever in there, and it just so it'll keep it from lighting. You can go in there and clean that out, which we did, but it would light. The pilot light would light, but as soon as you let off the pressure off the knob, then it would go out every time. So this is what ended up being the problem. This is the tilt switch, and apparently they're common to go bad. And so what I did here was removed the two connections right there and connected those wires to test to see if that was my actual problem. So I connected those two wires together, and I didn't have alligator clips. I couldn't find my alligator clips or anything, so I just took a wire and connected them, and then tested it again with that hooked up like that, and it lit just fine and stayed lit. And so that told me that tilt switch was bad, and that was the problem. The issue was I couldn't get a switch, at my hardware store here. Nobody carried those, but I went ahead and ordered. I found the exact same ones on Amazon, like two for $9, and so I just ordered that. But my issue was that I needed the heater that day, so I rigged this. I left this rigged that way, and it works fine. The only issue is that with no tilt switch, obviously, if it gets knocked over, it doesn't cut off, and that's not safe at all. But like I say, I just needed it for that day, and it was a temporary fix. So in a pinch, this saved me being able to do that. So just wanted to show y'all. Anyway, we'll show you the inside as well. So we have it out now, and this tilt switch was just mounted, right there. So just make sure you hook them back the same way you take them apart. And I'll also show you another common problem. It's on the other side there that I normally have. Like I said, this is the first time, and I know a lot of people have had these go out, within a year. So don't be surprised if your problem is it will light, but it won't stay lit. Your pilot light won't stay lit when you let off. Then there's a good chance this is your issue right here. So if you do take these off and you order one, just make sure that you get the same specs on the new one. And I was able to find, exactly the same ones online for this model. They ranged in price from $6 for one to $20, and I wouldn't want to go with the cheapest one just for the fear of it failing immediately or not working when I got it. But since it was the exact same one, and this one lasted me 5 years, then I felt comfortable going with that. But anyway, that's that, and we'll just put that back on and hook these wires back up and put everything back together and see if we got fire. I'm gonna try to spin this around on the other side, so without tearing my little couch up. So this is your gas line here for the pilot tube. That's your pilot light. So this is the common thing that gets, if you're getting spark but it won't light, then check this tube. So there's a little set screw right here that you'll need to loosen enough that this will slide up and down, because it's just keeping that set screw's holding that in there and keeping it from moving either direction. And so you want to get it open or loosened just enough to pull this out, but you got to be very careful pulling this out, because it will break, and that's certainly not a good thing. Just gradually ease that out, and then get you something like a one thing that works well, that's good size, is one of those wooden skewer sticks like shish kebabs. They work well, and just slide that in and out and clean it out and get any kind of spider webs or soot or whatever out of that, just in and out, and then ease just delicately as well, put that back into place. And anyway, that's one more very common issue with these. But just don't throw it to the curb, or don't be so quick to throw it to the curb if it quits working. Check these things out. They're simple. It's not hard. Anybody can do it. Like I say, the biggest thing is just remember, you know, how you took it apart. Take pictures if you need to, so you put it back together the same way it was before. But that's it, and we'll try to get that back hooked up. One thing I will note, y'all, is if you got some working gloves, it's better, because these screens and pretty much a lot of these parts, especially this as well, are very sharp, and they will cut you when you're in a bind, you know, holding something awkwardly like this anyway. You know, it would have been a lot easier to disconnect that a lot easier. Would have been faster, so that's why I didn't. All right, first try. Pile of lights lit and stayed lit, so I'm excited. But that's it, and so we hopefully that'll help you. We have fire again. You know, we're back safe again, at least now, and I do have kids, so it's nice to be that way. But if you get in a bad situation and need it to work and need the heat, then there you go. I'm certainly not an expert on propane or electrical work, but we fixed our problem, and I didn't have to buy a new heater, and I didn't have to call anybody for help. I'm just showing you guys what I do. It may not be the best way or the safest way, but it worked for me, and just wanted to let you know what did work for me. So thanks for watching. If this was helpful to you, please hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos of things we do around the farm.